5 years back, Bombay, and I moved to Singapore about 5 years back. Was working with Roger. So in India, I used to organize these dance workshops. That was my first ever job, right? And that was my first ever promotion. And we're talking about promotions right now, right? I was 18, and I remember my mentor at that time mentioned that whatever promotion you do, make sure you have your revenue in place beforehand, or you have a promise of the revenue coming in beforehand. Otherwise, don't do it. And we follow the same thing here as well at Well Dynamics. So what used to happen in India was there was this craze of people wanting to learn jive and salsa, right? Now, I'm not a teacher. I wasn't an instructor. My friends were. The way I learned it was because we would go on a tour, and we would be in hotel rooms, and one of the instructors, she would just grab me. She would be like, I want to practice before the class. And that's how I learned it. I was just managing the tour. And what we did was we went to schools. We went to schools, told the school principal that we'll come after school hours, teach the kids salsa, jive, and a little bit of Bollywood, and that would be like a 1.5 hour class. What happens after 15 days is they put up a show. So there's a stage show, right? And we sell tickets for it as well. So we had no money. We just went to the principal saying that, okay, we want to do this. Can you just distribute the circulars? It's not a compulsion for students. Whoever wants to join can turn up. So turned out we had 500 students signed up for these classes, right? And because this was the trend, so a lot of kids were into it as well. And this was the first workshop ever. We had no idea what we were going to do. 500 people signed up just because they wanted to earn, because that was the trend. Now, we had no money either. So to pay for flight tickets or train tickets for the guys who I was going to call, the instructors. So what we did was told the kids to pay like 1,000 rupees, which is close to like $20 for a 12-day workshop. And that's a lot in India, $20 at that time, definitely. So they all paid up. And all of a sudden, we had 500 kids, and we had so much money. And we still didn't deliver the product yet, right? So we had the money up front. We noticed that, okay, this is working. And while we're getting the instructors to come in from other cities, and we're using them just for 1.5 hour after school hours, would it make sense to have one more session in the evening for kids who don't want to do it after school, but want to do it evening time after their homework? And even parents could join, right? So we opened up one more class, and we tied up with a restaurant and took their space for that. And turned out we had about 100, 200 people over there. So all of a sudden we have 700 people, all this money, started the classes, went for 10 days, and we promised them that whatever they learn, they will put up that on a stage for a stage show, right? So end of the workshop, we did a show with them, but I, being a supporter and just wanted everything kind of grand as well, I spent a lot of that money. Now we were kind of short of money because we put all that money on the stage, on the lights, security. All of a sudden, what I could have done was just do a small show for their parents, right? And then could have saved a lot of money. But that was the first lesson. But that's what we did. Yeah. And I was short of money. And then we were like, all right, so if the parents are going to come, so if the kids are there, right? So if we sell tickets, we give just one ticket per child. Yeah, one ticket per child. That means the other parent will have to buy the ticket, right? They have to pay. And kids are the best audience ever. Audience. They are like your target audience, right? You target them, they spread the word for you, right? If the kids who did our workshop, they were spreading a word like, oh, I go for this class, and why don't you come? I'm going to be on the stage. It's going to be a show. Why don't you purchase tickets for it? So we didn't really have to do much because we had the right audience, the kids. And the kids were talking in their in amongst their friends. And now we had a lot of people buy tickets per child because they wanted to see that one kid on the stage. They'd never been on the stage before with lights and this big music, and we got some celebrity guests as well. That's how we earned money from the tickets too. That was the first promotion. We just kept repeating it. And the way I started doing it was I did what, two of these workshops, and entire year I wouldn't work. I would go to Goa. Have you heard of Goa? Yeah. I would just go to Goa, stay there for like 3 months, 4 months. And when the money gets over, go back, do another workshop. Yeah. I couldn't dance at this point. I was still not. I learned this just from all the workshops that we did, because when the classes are on, there's not much to do, like just to watch the instructors, right? Just learn from there. But yeah, so that was a promotion. Here's another promotion. What I learned from there, right, was you don't really need a lot of investment in a promotion if you get the ideas and the strategies right. Green School. You heard about Green School? So, so Roger joined as the chairman for Green School. At that point of time, it was what, 5 years for Green School, and in 5 years, their database was just about 6,000. 6,000 database in 5 years. And now, if anyone of you want to get into the internet business, right, or start doing promotions online, you'll understand the importance of database. You need leads to generate money. You need that kind of database to even reach out and give your product out to them. So we couldn't sell to like 6,000. What would we do with a database of 6,000? Not much to do, right? So Roger joined, and he got in touch with me and my team and suggested that we do a promotion for them, because we kept doing promotions for Well Dynamics, Well Spectrum, and we were like, okay, can we do something for Green School that would just change their entire database, plus it would cover them for the next couple of years. We did a competition. Ran it for a month. What they had achieved in 5 years, we tripled that in 1 month. We had 18,000 leads in 1 month just from that competition. Biggest lesson, kids. That's smart. They are the right audience for anything you want to do, right? So what we did was just put out some promo videos about Green School, like it's in Bali, it's you could win a scholarship in Green School if you participate in this competition. The competition was greenest student on earth. So each kid, we knew the importance of videos, right? And how YouTube videos were going viral. We knew that if the kid records a 3-minute video of himself, everyone would watch it. You'd love it, right? Just watch one of these here. Right, I'm just gonna skip all this and then. Okay, need audio. Do we have audio, Shane? Yeah, but that was the idea. this, before we run every promotion, we do an entire flow chart of how it would look like. This was about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and I've kind of learned my lesson and started doing it in a different way. I'll show that to you as well. For every promotion we did, we had a flow chart. The first thing user does is enters the competition site. Now this could be the parent or the kid. The second step is user registers and submits a video title and description. Now we didn't want these kids to upload directly on YouTube, because if they upload directly on YouTube, it's not our content, right? The content belongs to the kid, but it actually belongs to the kid, but we wanted to have the copyright so that we could exploit that content. We could spread it out, and we could give it to press, magazine, without having to worry about copyrights, right? So we made them come onto a site, and we got them to upload their video on our site, which was linked to YouTube. Now this was never ever done before by any campaign or any competition. Take big companies like Adidas, Reebok, or Nike, who keep doing promotions and competitions, right? When they didn't do it because YouTube API. Now API is kind of a language which talks between two websites, right? And you call it an API. So if I want to communicate with YouTube, right, my language with them would be an API, and that's what an API is. You'll hear a lot of terms like API key for integration. Now that is what an API is. It's a language. So what we did was we got them to upload their video with the title and description on our site, which was greenschool.org. It communicated with YouTube, uploaded the YouTube video onto our channel, Green School channel. Now all of a sudden, we had close to 150 entries. 150 kids entered the competition. So we had a YouTube channel with 0 videos, a new channel. We all of a sudden had 150 really powerful videos. The subscribers numbers began to go up, and number of likes started going up. But the reason this happened was all of this was placed under one channel. If it was all separate, we wouldn't have leveraged on YouTube marketing. Got them to upload the 3-minute video using a competition API, and it was not on YouTube, it was on our website. API sends details to YouTube, and video gets uploaded to GS Green School channel. I remember just the user uploads a 3-minute video using our competition API. So it's just a browse button, and you select your file and upload your video file, right? That's what the kids did, or the parents did. And we made sure that that gets uploaded onto our YouTube channel automatically, no manual work. We didn't want to spend on any manpower. We didn't have any funds for this either. No. So they had to upload a 3-minute video talking about why they are the greenest student on earth, right? That's what they did. Let's watch one of the videos.
Hello, my name is Cassius Cleo Huckleberry, home like Kentucky River Bend Ford. I live in New Mexico with my family and grandma on one of the oldest eco-villages in North America. 37 years ago, our community began organic farming, green building, and using renewable energy. We have 50 members, 420 acres, and a bunch of hot springs. We use the hot water to heat our baths, kitchens, and even our buildings in the winter. We share the land with mountain lions, bears, deer, fox, and javelina, and we even have a ringtail cat living under our house. My education has been a mix of Montessori and homeschool. I'm interested in other cultures, learning new languages, and everything about math and science. I'm especially interested in mycology. Last year, I discovered an interesting mushroom growing underground, and I sent it off to the world's leading truffle expert. He took DNA samples, decided it was a new species, and named me after me, Scleroderma casii. I really like primitive skills. I can forage for wild foods, make flint knives, and make rope from yucca fibers. I even know how to make fire with a bow drill like the Indians did. I love gardening with my family, milking goats, collecting eggs, and making cheese too. I also care for the earth by using solar power and geothermal hot water, getting around on our bikes, and my dad's biodiesel truck. And I guess our composting toilet helps. I'm a third generation conservationist. My dad and grandma both do environmental work, so I've been learning about this stuff for longer than I can remember. This week, I'm working to collect signatures to help save New Mexico's last wild river. It's hundreds of miles long and home to a bunch of animals that would die if this water was piped away. I'm concerned about rainforest destruction, species extinction, and saving our oceans. I know some life will survive no matter what we do to the Earth, but I don't like the idea of a planet with only cockroaches and algae. I want other things to survive too, like monkeys and mangoes and frogs and humans and all the other creatures. That's why I'll always work to protect the Earth and all living things. Oh yeah, me and my friend Daryl Hannah are being turned into cartoon characters for a kids' TV show about saving the planet. I'm excited about going to the green school because I want to work with other kids to help us solve Earth's problems. Please vote for me. Thanks.
What happens is the person just gets the access to your friends list. They don't have permission to post on your friends wall. If they do, Facebook bans the provider, right? So Facebook has very strict laws around that. So even if it gives you that permission or to say send a notification, it will never post on someone else's wall without their permission. We've gone through this entire process with Genius Test. Genius Test is a Facebook app, and we collect certain permissions. Yeah, and one of the permissions, it was kind of complex, and a lot of people got upset when just last month we added one more feature to it, that inside Genius Test you'll be able to view all of your friends' newsfeed, like what they're up to. So if I want to, if Roger, Simone, and John are in my Genius circle, right? These are the top people who I want to follow what they're doing. So we ask for permission that we will take their newsfeed and show it on your Genius Test profile. So a lot of people got upset that why do you want posts of our friends? But then we had to change that. So we changed that in a way that we don't ask that permission right away. Only if you want to access that feature, if you want to know what your top circle is doing or what they're up to, then you connect, then you invite. Yeah, so we've changed that and then it's worked fine. But with Green School, so along with that Facebook Connect, we got their email addresses. We didn't have rights to email any of their friends because we never asked for their friend list permission, right? We just asked for their profile and their email. And the other way of voting was put in your email address, go to your inbox, confirm the email, and that's how a vote gets counted. So, and all these votes actually came in as leads for Green School. Now, these people already know about Green School because they saw the video, right? And they've gone onto the Green School site. Now, these are cold leads which we've converted into kind of warm leads. We know that if we reach out to them with, say, events or some happenings in Green School, they'll of course be interested because they've heard about Green School. They like the idea. They voted for it. So that's how the entire 18,000 came in. One really critical part was every step we took, I told you that we strategically thought what we will be doing. Once the kid uploads the video, what does he get to promote it? So we sent a marketing kit to each one who uploaded their video. The marketing kit had 4 Facebook posts, right? Sample Facebook posts. That here are 4 posts which you could post on Facebook to attract people to watch your video. Here are 4 tweets you could use to attract people to watch your video and vote for it. Here is an email you could send out to your friends or your family or your relatives. And here is a press release. We send them a press release sample. With everything in there, all they had to do was just change their name. And give this to your local newspapers or magazine and tell them a kid of their town is so green that he's participating in the greenest student on earth, and make the city proud by voting for him. So we sent them the press release. Tweets, Twitter. First was Facebook posts. Facebook post, Twitter tweets, email, and press release. Now these are simple tasks to do. Like if you sit for 2 hours, you'll get all of those sorted for your network, right? It doesn't take long to create these. And we knew that if this worked, then people will start spreading the message. So that's how it, yeah. So the promotion was, as it always happens, at Well Dynamics, it's always like urgent basis, right? So it was about, we got the website, everything, the integration, all of it up in 4 days. 4 days, yeah. Including the design, the entire website, the API integration, the marketing pieces, all of that. I have another promotion going to happen next week. So even with you all, even I'm going through a process of promotion that will be happening next week. And I was told about that when I was here the day before, right? I was here the day before with taking photos. And I had a 2-hour long meeting with Roger, and he was like, oh, we should do this. And he's a creator, I'm a supporter. And he comes up with great ideas all the time. I've learned it with my experience in 5 years. I know from his face that when I'm going to get screwed with a new promotion or new task or something, and he'll just start like, hey, Suraj, I've got this idea, right? Like, oh no, no, why can't you just, yeah, why can't we just, yeah, doing what we're doing and just let the money come in through the channels. Yeah, why do you want to create a new one all over again? Turns out we're going to do one more next week on Wednesday, right? And he said, I asked him, so what's your timeline? And said, oh, would be good if we do it by Wednesday. I said, no, not possible. Wednesday. I said, really? But then we'll miss out this entire. He's got all these excuses, right? And he'll come up with these things which you can't say no to then. You know that the company is end of the day going to benefit from that. So now we are already in the process of, and that is a much bigger promotion than this. That is a promotion for his Millionaire Master Plan book. And so we're going through that process as well. So for Green School, it was 4 days. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm coming to now. So I have a team of developers in India and in London, right? So I hate working with Indian developers. I'm sorry to say that I'm Indian, but I hate working with them because it gets really difficult to communicate with them and making sure that they also think strategically. All they do is just go code and get the site up, but there's no strategic thinking into this. So when it comes to complex promotions or complex tasks, I send it to the guys in London, right? And when it comes to hard, yeah, they're a little expensive, but they get the work done the way we want as well. And the promotion cost is not much. Like it covers the entire thing by the time we make money off it. But when it comes to, so I do send a lot of the Indian developers are still, they get most of our work because all the strategy happens here. We just tell them that this is what we want and they get it ready for us. Yeah, so with the Facebook integration and all of that, and it's and most of these things, if you just put down a list of what all things you want, how you could just out to as many people. Don't worry about whether my website will handle this feature. whether this feature is something which is too complex, don't worry about it. There are people who do this. Their job is to do this, right? So yeah, just find them, and it's easy. There are a lot of them out there to get this done for you. So I had this developer in India who did it, did the website and the integration, all of it, right? And even for something like Greenest Student on Earth, he could do it in what, 2 days? There was not much, and the third day we did all the testing for it. The marketing side of it took longer, of recording a video and sending it out to people and getting the copies in place, the email copies, and all of that, right? And those are the things you. So there are some which I do, there are some which Roger does. So when it comes to regular communication, then those are the ones which I do. If they are communication related to any promotion where we know that we're going to generate a lot of revenue from it, then Roger does that. So yeah, uh, three, three times, and then it was there in our newsletter as well. So I'm not counting newsletter because it was just a blurb in the newsletter. Uh, but if not 4 days, if you get the strategy right, you could easily do something similar within a week. There are people out there to make it happen for you. They'll do all the work. Just make sure the way you give tasks to them is the way they want it. Then they'll do it for you. A lot of times when you give uh, things to designers or to online developers, I've seen a lot of people struggle with it, saying, "Oh, he's not getting it done on time. It's taking too long for him. Uh, he promised me the website last week," and these are basic sites. But did you think that what could you do to make it simpler for him, right? I went through this process as well, and we had. I used to give it like this, right? This was a terrible way of doing it. Even though I thought, oh, how cool! I'm giving them a flow of entire thing. This is what I give it to them. But the idea is to give it something like this. To this is just recent. This is from last week. Last week we on that board itself, I just went and designed how I want my user to experience coming onto my site. What all do I want them to see, and what is the next step? This is Roger James Hamilton's site. This is wdprofiletest.com, right? Now these are just sketches, right? And this is, I put like a Richard Branson photo here, put Roger's photo here. I'll show you what it looks like right now. Mouse. Just need to get my mouse.
Can I ask, how would you go about that competition? Because that was just incredible. How would you start promoting it if you didn't have a list to begin with? What would your strategy be for that?
There are some who or ebook or take or purchase your product. Then there are some who say just don't like anything and then they drop off. And that usually is close to 60-70% generally. So if you have anything below 50% bounce rate, you're doing amazing. If you have anything close to 80-90, you're doing terrible. 50-60 bounce rate is kind of still okay. And so that these three types of people, how do you make sure that you get them to sign up for an ebook or put in their email address? End of the day, you need the email address, because with the email address you could do, well, you could send them information about your upcoming events or promotions, but the idea is to get leads. We've calculated that everyone who comes onto wdprofiletest.com, right, the one who downloads the free ebook, their value to us is $6. We give it for free, but how do we calculate that value? Is of every 100 people who download the WDE guide, there are 6 of them who go on and take the profile test, which is $100, right? And if you start thinking how much is your lead valued at, yeah, the worth of that lead, and that is the critical. The day you find that out, you can design your entire marketing budget and marketing campaign based on that. Our entire focus right now on online social media or any ads we do is not sell well dynamics profile test. You can't sell $100 to a cold lead right away, right? They need to understand your product to get that, to buy a $100 product. So what we do is send them free stuff. But we know that if we flood the entire community with our e-guides, out of those 100, there would be 6 who would take the test. So most of our ads which are running right now, what they do is they talk about download the e-guide. There are 8 types of entrepreneurs. Which one are you? Find out, and they click on the ad. They go onto our site. Once they go onto our site, the first thing you will see is download free ebook. So we're still not pitching for that $97. So think, what is your lead magnet? Like, the lead magnet could be, say, a webinar. A lead magnet could be an ebook. A lead magnet could be a video series. Like, so we made that part of this e-guide. We've seen a trend where leads coming through ebooks, e-guides is kind of going down. So what we did was that if you download the e-guide, you get 3 bonus videos with it. That was another of our magnet to get people attracted to Well Dynamics. Now these 3 videos are very basic videos. They talk about Well Dynamics, but the titles are, the first video is double your income, half your stress. Now you see, even the titles we use, double your income and half your stress, even the titles that we use are very generic to reach out to as many people as we want. If we were to talk about Well Dynamics, we've tried this, Well Dynamics in 10 minutes. We don't get as much attraction as what we get for double your income and half your stress, right? It talks about Well Dynamics, but that's the title. And Roger languages it around that, like he puts the video in a way that he talks about how to double your income and half your stress. So now some people would be like, this is kind of double your income is like get rich quick kind of scheme, but then you have half your stress along with that as well, so that you have people thinking, okay, if I don't want to follow a get rich quick scheme, I would think about halving my stress. Right? The second video, which goes 4 days after the first video, is called How to Build a $1 Million Team, and which again talks about the 8 profiles and how you can have the right profiles in place and build the right team. Third video goes 4 days after that, and it's called 5 Biggest Mistakes Entrepreneurs Make. So you'll see in the first video there's a positive, there's negative, double your income, half your stress. The second video, it talks about all positive, how to build a $1 million team. The third one is all negative, 5 biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make. Now that way we are targeting the right audience as well, what we need. Right? We're reaching out to the positives and negatives. Now, yeah, they're different targets, and these videos, let me see if I can pull one of those out here. This is the page. Now this is not even the Well Dynamics site, right? But we've created this page just for this one ad, so that people who see that ad, they actually go onto the site and download they put in their email address, and we also mentioned this, that download the ebook and receive these 3 incredible bonuses. So think about what your lead magnet is, and once you get that lead, what do you do with that lead? How do you nurture that lead? How do you make sure that you engage that lead? One really good way of doing it is Facebook ads. Do any one of you use Facebook ads? Use Facebook ads, right? How is it working for you? Yeah. Yeah. It's very critical that when you do ads, either Google ads or Facebook ads, you do it in the right way. We started spending $30 a day with Facebook, didn't make enough money. As you said, got a lot of likes, but didn't generate money. But then we changed the strategy in a way that we stopped talking about Well Dynamics. We started getting putting a personal image to all the ads. So we said, Steve Jobs is a creator. What profile do you think you are? Richard Branson is a creator. What profile do you think you are? Oprah Winfrey makes some money by doing these things. What profile? So and the target was very specific. I stopped doing ads for all the audience on Facebook, right? You need to be very targeted. I'll show you some of the ads. Here's one, which is, let me show you the Oprah Winfrey one first. Yeah, this is one ad, right? Oprah Winfrey is a star profile and loves to build influential brand. What's your profile? Now, if I was to see the number of, go by the number of likes, I'll be happy. It's got 40,000, right? But how much has this ad generated is what is important to me. This other actions is what people have taken on my site, right? About 3,000 of them. Yeah, Facebook ads. So if you go onto Facebook, manage ads, you either subscribed or bought. But I wanted to get into clear terms as well, like what action they took. And Facebook provides that facility to you to track exactly what they're doing. Exactly like Google Analytics. But then I changed like the target. I know that Australia, UK, New Zealand, US, and South Africa are our major markets. People who are interested in Myers Briggs, Tony Robbins, Roger James Hamilton, entrepreneurship, Oprah Winfrey, personality quizzes. Yeah, I give that specific of who I really want to target, and based on that, my ad goes out to them. Now, this is you'll think this is pretty refined, right? Yeah. Where on the ad? Yeah, it goes on to wdprofiletest.com. Yeah, our site. And the first thing they do after they go on to wdprofiletest.com is there's a pop-up that says download e-guide, because we know that anyone who comes from these guides is worth $6 to us, right? So we spent, so if you see, it'll tell you, yeah, it's 8 cents per click, right? Out of that 8 cents per click, there would be a lot who would just drop off. But even if you get like 50% of that to download the free ebook, you succeeded, because you're still making say $5 of each lead. So if you start calculating in those terms of how much your per click is and how much you're spending to get these people and how much do they give back to you. So this, you'll think this is kind of refined, right? Like I mentioned, small business, page owners, technology early adopters, and social enterprise, female entrepreneur association, psychometric software, wealth daily, lean in. So I put the thing, but this year back I thought was fine, but it's not. You could still narrow it down. You could still narrow it down to, this is what I did for Bill Gates as well. These ads. This is again pretty similar ad. Very similar ad, creates a lot of traction. Now, to remember, if you do Facebook ads, never use photos like someone on the beach or someone who is doing something good. It should always be close-ups, because when it's close-up, people relate to it. You've got just what? Like during my MBA days in Singapore, we were taught that, see a billboard, right? What is the time that you get to get attracted to an ad when you're driving past? Yeah, it's 3 seconds. You have to sell your brand in 3 seconds. And that's why you see that billboards are designed in that way. In 3 seconds, you have to sell your brand. Facebook ads are similar. They keep changing. How do you make sure that someone gets attracted to it and clicks on it out of all the ads which are there? So that's why we had like really close-up faces of people, so that people relate to people better than someone being there on the beach on a do it out, right? Yeah, yeah, exactly. On videos as well. So here's the other ad, right? Which is not a video. This is just an image of a video, just to get the clicks in place. It wouldn't play the video, but when you click on this, it would take you to this site, which would have the video. Now, if I see the target audience for this, it says custom audience WD profile test remarketing. Just that much. What does this mean? This means anyone who's been on wdprofiletest.com but didn't buy the product, or they know about Well Dynamics Profile Test and they bounced off, just target them. Yeah, because you must have gone on a profile test. Yeah, and sometimes you wonder, like, how do these ad guys know what I really want, or that I've just visited this site? How do they know that I was looking for this? This is how it is. This is remarketing. Now, if you go on to, say, iLAB site right now, we haven't set up that ad, but I could start showing iLAB ads, not specific because I don't want to sell you another iLAB, but I would say that, say there's a big party happening in Obud tomorrow, and all the iLAB participants get 50% off. You could refine your ad, or even define it in that sense that you're targeting just 14 people here. I could actually put in your names in the ads and it'll show up on your wall. That's how close you can get, right, with the ads that you're doing. With the remarketing, anyone who comes onto our site with wdprofiletest.com, because it's a $100 product, we had a bounce rate of 80%. That means that there's a big bunch of people coming in. 80% of them don't take any action, but they've heard about Well Dynamics. Now these are not cold leads, these are warm leads for me, because they've heard about Well Dynamics, they've liked the ad, they've come onto the site, I've achieved that much. What more do I need to do? So just target them with more ads that download a free book, or here's a 30% discount coupon for Well Dynamics Profile Test. The reason they wouldn't have taken the test is either it's too expensive, they didn't understand the idea of Well Dynamics. We got that covered by giving them a 30% discount coupon, or gave them a free ebook. So that way you can reduce that 80% to, say, even 40%, or say 50%, right? So you cover that 30% just by really getting those ads in place. So we've done this for WD Profile Test. Now this is for anyone who goes on to WD Profile Test but doesn't take any action, but what they see later on is this. They don't go on to wdprofiletest.com. They just see a video and just 2 buttons, nothing else. 2 buttons would say take the test and download ebook. Because they've already been on the site, they didn't like it, they bounce off. So you need to show them something new. And if they had seen the video, they would have liked it, because it's a really good video about Roger explaining the Well Dynamics square. And for that, you have social proof as well. Absolute mind opener. Makes so much sense. So all the people who kind of had a negative feeling about it, about going on to WD Profile Test or talk about Well Dynamics and didn't really take an action, now there is a social proof. People are talking about it, right? There are these Facebook comments in there. So there are high chances that they'll take action. They'll at least download the ebook, if not take the test. And even if they download the ebook, I know that it's generating $6 for me. Yeah. Yeah. Mike.
How many touches do you have to get to the lead before they get the Wealth Dynamics? Take the test.
How many types of
Touches? How many touches? How many things you send
how many
out?
touches?
The 3 videos, or is it 7 things? Or?
So here's the thing about, there are hot leads which convert right away, right?
Yeah.
If you tell someone about Well Dynamics, it's easy, like word of mouth, best way. If you refer it to someone, I don't have to spend on you, right? On the ads. Those are one type of people. The other type of people are who kind of like the idea, and you need to figure out what all the audience could be for your product and target each one of them accordingly. Now I know that someone who's gone in and hasn't thought twice before taking the Well Dynamics test, I can sell them iLAB. I know that I can sell them a $200 product because they believe in Well Dynamics so much that they've gone in and they've taken the test. And I can now give them a $200 product, and that is my goal, to sell them that 200, right? Product. For someone who hasn't taken the profile test, even getting them to spend that $97 is kind of a task for me. So I'll give them a free ebook. If they download the free ebook and take the test, good. That's two way of reaching them. One is direct selling, the other one is through eGuide. So from eGuide they take the test. So that is 2 steps. The third one is they downloaded the eGuide but they didn't take the test. Then we send them the 3 videos. The first video goes 4 days after they download the eGuide. It doesn't go right away. So even after they download the eGuide, they haven't taken the test, they'll watch the video. And even if they've seen the video and haven't taken any action, I lose that customer, right? Or I target that probably a month later with a better opportunity.
Okay, thank you. And I assume you can, like Google, you can localize the Facebook ads. So if you're a location-based business, like we're not selling something that ultimately is online anyway.
Yeah.
You can choose the.
Yeah, you can
Melbourne.
choose.
Yeah, sure.
You can choose a geography as well, and which
you.
is specifically for your town, and in your town, what interests they have based on that.
And you
Like,
can research their interests and go into the back end and
yeah. So it's really important to knowing what your customer wants and who your real customer is.
two things, if I may. As of last week, you're not allowed to market anymore to share this, or
To charities.
no, on your Facebook page. Facebook will put out a memo saying that because people are getting the free marketing, so what they want now is for people to share, to like through payment. So if you put an ad up now saying please share with your friends or please like this,
You can't do that.
they're blocking it now.
Yeah, but you don't want that either, because when you start saying that please share, please like,
Yeah,
you change your entire language.
that's
it looks
right.
like you're desperate
agree.
for something, right? And
Yeah,
there's no social proof to it that, okay, we've got so many people bought this product and they're happy. You want to join our community? Come join. That's a different languaging than saying that,
Yeah.
hey, please like it or
please
share
help
it.
me. Yeah, shares. And I agree in that sense, but there's that sort of referral aspect too, right? So
Yeah.
it's definitely in the languaging. So just for everyone to be mindful of how you do that as well.
Yeah.
How did you get? Am I being presumptuous in asking how did you get to your $6 figure?
Right?
Yeah.
So what we did was we track everything on Infusionsoft. Everything on Infusionsoft. Let me see if I can open my Infusionsoft as well. And now once you know that people, you can count the number of downloads that have happened, right? You know that from this ad, say 100 people have downloaded that ebook. Out of that, say you generated $600. 100 ebooks, $600. Divided, you get the number 6. So that's how. Yeah, 100 ebooks we gave for free. The amount that was generated from those, 100. There were 6 people who took the test, so that's $600. Yeah. So yeah, just divide 600 by 100, and you'll find out what your lead value is.
From the ebook specifically, right?
Now, this is how we track everything on Infusionsoft, right? It's going really in depth into, this is a Genius test. There are about 31,000, and this number, again, I've kind of figured out the holy grail of Google Ads, and I added 7,000 people. This number was close to 25,000. And if you go onto Genius Test Facebook page, you will see last week we had a cover page which said 25,000 app users, right? Now you'll see the number, it's close to 32,000. It's 31,500 right now. The real algorithm of adding 1,000 leads a day. Yeah, 1,000 leads a day. So that's how between last week and now we're close to 32,000. And I know that if we go this rate, we'll easily reach 1,000 a day. 100,000 wouldn't take long for us to get there. So, but if you see here, the idea is that we calculate every bit and we can find out what is not working. We know that in anyone who's taken the Genius test, out of that 5,400 people have invited their friends. Only 520 people have kind of added their other networks into it. There are 3,800 who've learned the basic steps of Genius test. This isn't doing well, which is social genius, which is taking the test on your friend. So from this, I can find out which is not working. And I can work on that particular bit, right? Now, similar is the ads. When you do AdWords, when you're attracting people to your site, there are things which you know are working, there are things which you know are not working. I know that people who downloaded the e-guide, out of 100, 6 took the test. What about the 94? What about the 94? What do we do with those 94? So with those 94, I have another ad just for those 94. Not remarketing. What you do is you take the entire Excel list of everyone who's downloaded that ebook, upload that on Facebook, and Facebook will do specific ads just for them. You can upload an Excel sheet with email addresses onto Facebook, and if the Facebook email and that email matches, you'll have specific ads just for them. It's something called custom audiences. Now, like this ad, right? So this is sending to just people who have taken the Genius test. Genius test is another lead magnet for us. It's a free test. But we want them to take the Well Dynamics test. You'll see here, you can actually calculate, right? It says this particular one is $27 per conversion. So anyone who's taken the Genius test have gone ahead out of, like, the amount I've spent on this is, how much have I spent? It doesn't say here, but I've generated 582 from this, right? From this ad, and it divides it from the amount that I spent, and it calculates that $27 is what I paid per conversion. So I've still made $70 because it's a $97 test, right? So through this, so you can easily measure whether you're making profit through ads or you're not making profit through ads. And if you are, then just keep increasing that budget. Start with $30. If it's working, add $10 more. If it's working, add 20 more. Just test it, change it every week, and you'll see. Now, this is, we pay our affiliates $30, right? So this is okay for me for paying $27 for Facebook conversion for this particular ad. Yeah, that's cheaper than our affiliates. Now, there are specific ads just for those. So identify those points. If you identify the points where people are dropping off and people are not taking action, you could target just those. I was talking about the 94 people who dropped off with the e-guide, right? You could upload that list onto Facebook. I could upload 14 of your names onto Facebook with your email addresses. I have your email addresses from Infusionsoft, right? Yeah, on my database. Yeah. Yeah. So I have all of that, right? So I have your 14 email addresses. I could upload that on Facebook. Where to upload? So if you go on to, here's something called audiences, right? Click onto audiences. I think you see it here. Yeah. This page opens up, which is the audience. Now this is the remarketing. Remarketing is something which was started recently. Just last week I started remarketing. So it's still calculating people who come onto our site. Remarketing is anyone who comes onto our site but doesn't take action and you want an ad specifically for them. So you could do that, and I set this up just last week and it's calculated 16,000. I know this number will go up to say 30 or 40,000 in the next week or so, because by then it'll calculate the monthly visitors to our site. But then this is just remarketing. I created that audience. There is this one which is e-guide, right? E-guide download. Now I did this specifically for a month. In 1 month we had these 3,100 people who didn't take action. I uploaded that list to this create audience button. Click on create audience. It'll tell you, let's see. Yeah. So here are the options. You could upload an Excel sheet. You could connect with your MailChimp. You could custom audience from your mobile app, or custom audience from your website. Custom audience from your website is the remarketing. So imagine how powerful would it be if I was to just upload your list and mention that, hey, iLABians, if you don't have any plans for the weekend, why don't you visit us at Club Havana and you get 50% off. You'll do that, right? That's how close you can get with ads. All right. I started using LinkedIn, but it didn't work for me. Mainly because LinkedIn is more for corporates, businesses than individuals. Uh, LinkedIn works great for talent dynamics. You heard about talent dynamics? Yeah, because talent dynamics is well dynamics for corporates, where you can target directors, marketing managers, or say HR professionals who will grant you permission to have a workshop in their company. So, but with well dynamics, Facebook, because Facebook is very individual, LinkedIn is very corporate, right? The audience is different. So you need to find out what channel you want to use also. If you have a product which is meant for corporates, try LinkedIn, try Facebook as well, but Facebook, target it in a way that it reaches out to all your audience only, not individuals. How? All the lists, all the lists. So on Infusionsoft, all of that is on Infusionsoft. Yeah, so there's Infusionsoft and there's Salesforce. There are two platforms to use. Salesforce we are shutting down right now, but we use Infusionsoft. If you don't want to use Infusionsoft, if you don't want to spend money over there is no excuse for you not doing this. Go to your Gmail or go to your LinkedIn, export that database, export all your friends, the entire list of your Gmail. If you are on LinkedIn, you can go on LinkedIn and take out the entire list of people with their email addresses. Take that, export it, and upload it on Facebook. And you don't need Infusionsoft for that. You don't. Yeah. Because you just need to upload an Excel sheet. You don't need Salesforce for that. Yeah, you don't need Salesforce for that either. So, but you don't have email addresses for those 5,000 likes. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. What you could do is with the people who like your Facebook page, you could target specifically to them as well. A way to. So our lead magnet for Facebook is again the e-guide, or so if you see Well Dynamics Facebook, you see on your page, you could easily add something like this, right? And this way you can get your fans to be part of your, yeah. No, these things you could do easily. There's not much. So I do these ones, but you could get someone to do it for you as well. Get a VA, a virtual assistant, to do it, or even get a temp staff who could just set these things for you. But just don't get caught up doing or building systems and taking that as an excuse for your marketing to fail. That I was so busy building the system, I built all of this, it didn't work. Right? If you don't want to do that, don't do that. Just take your Excel sheet from Google, from your Gmail, Hotmail, or Yahoo, and upload that list and try out just with that list. For VAs, go on to Elance. Yeah. The yeah sites. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, Monty also could help you out. Has Monty presented yet? He has, right? Okay, yeah, you'll be having a VA talk next week as well. So you can get Monty as well. Yeah. So, but you need to, yeah, these things won't take you long either if you were to do this. Like I could give you a list of apps on which you just need to upload your logo and it will link it up here. So there are all these things which if you spend more time onto it, it starts to. The reason why Roger stopped doing a lot of events, he used to travel a lot earlier and was in front of people a lot earlier. The reason that has changed is because he started getting interested in all the things we do online, right? Where he doesn't have to travel, and all these things are possible without him going out there in front of people. Yeah, and you could do that too. All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, all right. So, any questions? Sorry. Yeah, if you have any, yeah. So, if you want to drop me a line, drop me a line on my Facebook. Don't drop me email because email gets lost. I get a lot of emails. Facebook. So I'm in the group. I'm in the iLAB group. So just message me. Don't post on my wall. Just message me, and I'll get back to you because that's the fastest way